Have you guys ever wanted to fly? How about walk on the moon or dive to the deepest depths of the ocean? Well, I'm here today to tell you that all of this and more is possible. And the only barrier is one between your conscious and subconscious mind. What am I talking about? I'm talking about lucid dreaming, specifically how controlled lucid dreaming is both beneficial and achievable for the average person. Now, I first came interested in this topic when I had my first lucid dream a few years back, and I've been researching and reading about it ever since. Now, a few months ago, I actually started practicing the techniques I'm going to talk about, and so far I've been able to control two of my dreams. So I'm just going to start by clearly defining what lucid dreaming is, go over some of the ways lucid dreaming can benefit you, and then go over a few simple methods to get you guys started. So it's my first point. What is lucid dreaming? Lucid dreaming is simply defined as when the dreamer is aware they're in a state of dreaming. So a lot of people will imply or mean when they talk about lucid dreaming that you have an amount of control when you dream. This is not always the case in a lucid dream. You may be aware that you're in a dream and not be able to control your environment or change your environment. And this is pretty natural for beginners to lucid dreaming. You're kind of just there and you're just along for the ride and along for the experience. You may just be an observer of your dream as well. And so for the rest of my speech, when I talk about the benefits of lucid dreaming, I'm going to imply an amount of control when I talk about the techniques, so just to get you started to lucid dreaming, and then from there you can practice your own amount of control. So now that we know what lucid dreaming is, let's talk about some of the ways it can benefit you. Now, one specific way is actually a medical treatment, and it was discovered by Dr. Victor Spoormaker and Dr. Jan van den Boek of the Max Planck Institute of Psychiatry. In their 2006 study titled Lucid Dreaming as a Treatment for Nightmares, they found that of their patients that had reoccurring nightmares that caused severe sleep anxiety, those that went through an introduction course on lucid dreaming and then practiced for 2 weeks reported fewer nightmares and less sleep anxiety because of those nightmares. They also measured their sleep cycles, and they found they had longer, more restful cycles of sleep as compared to the control group that didn't experience lucid dreaming. Now, this may not be helpful to you because recurring nightmares is pretty specific. So one benefit that I like to talk about, and it's one of my favorite, is mentioned in the 2009 article, The Benefits of Lucid Dreaming, written by the founder of WorldLucidity.com, Rachel Turner. And what Ms. Turner talks about is how your level of creativity is severely heightened in your dream state. And what this allows you to do is increase your ability to problem solve. If you have problems that you have at work or at school or just throughout your life, you can work on these throughout your dream and have better solutions towards these problems. Now, a lot of people have heard that a lot of great inventors had some of their best ideas while they were sleeping. And Ms. Turner mentions Elias Howe and his 19th century invention of the sewing machine that he says came to him in a dream. And there's lots of other examples. It's also possible to practice physical routines while you're asleep. Surgeons, dancers, martial artists can practice their routines while they're in their lucid dream, and they'll find that when they're awake, they have a shorter learning curve and better muscle memory because of their practice in their dream. Now, you may not want to take your problems home when you go to sleep, right? So what's a benefit that could be fun for everyone? And it's really the most obvious, the most simple, and that's basic wish fulfillment, what I alluded to at the beginning of the speech. What have you always wanted to experience? Do you want to know what it's like to have superpower? Do you want to talk to dead people? Do you want to go hang out with a celebrity? Do you want to visit other worlds? Anything is possible in a dream, and really the only limit is your own imagination. So now we know what lucid dreaming is, we know a few of the benefits. Let's talk about some simple ways that you guys can get started. So what I'm going to talk to you about was invented by Dr. Stephen LaBerge. Stephen LaBerge has a PhD from Stanford in psychophysiology. He also founded the Lucidity Institute and is considered a world expert and world leader in research on lucid dreaming. And in his 1990 book entitled Exploring the World of Lucid Dreaming, this is what he talks about. His first step is to increase your dream recall. And what you want to do is start a dream journal. Put a pad of paper and some pen next to your bed, and as soon as you wake up from a dream, immediately reach over and grab and write down as many details about your dream as possible. Nothing's too insignificant. What you saw, what you felt, who you were with, what the weather was like, no detail is too small. And it's important to do this immediately upon awakening. Most people forget their dreams within 30 seconds upon awakening. So don't get up and get dressed or make your bed or stare at the ceiling for a minute. Immediately reach over, grab your paper, and start writing anything you can. Now, in the first week or so, you'll probably find that you can only write maybe a sentence or two about each dream. But after about 3 weeks, you'll find that your dream recall has severely increased, and you can write pages about each dream. So once you've got your dream journal going, you can move on to the next step. And what you're going to do is you're going to look through your dreams dreams and look for a pattern. Is there a common element in most or all of your dreams? You're always in a certain place, you're always doing a certain action, there's always an item there, you're always with a certain person. And when you find that common element, you're going to use it as a visual cue. Now what this means is whenever you see this common element in your daily life, or hopefully in your dreams, you can stop and ask yourself, am I dreaming right now? And what you can do to check is perform what Dr. LaBerge calls a reality check. And the 3 simplest reality checks you can do is check a digital watch, read some text, or look at a pattern. When you're sleeping, your subconscious mind is constantly filling in the world around you. And it can't keep these three things consistent. So what you need to do is when you think you're dreaming, you see your visual cue, stop, look at the watch, look at the paper, look away and look back. If it's changed, you're probably dreaming. That or you're on some really strong hallucinogens. Let's hope that you're dreaming, okay? So once you realize you're in a dream, you need to do this throughout your waking life too. Even if you're sure you're awake, but you see your visual cue, just whenever you think about it, perform your reality check. So it gets you in the habit of doing it, so that when you dream, you'll do it then. And once you realize you're asleep, then you can start practicing your control and trying to fly or trying to do whatever it is that you want to do. So these are just a few simple ways to get started. I encourage you to go home and do some research on your own. So after defining lucid dreaming, talking about some of the benefits, and giving you a few simple ways to get started, I really hope that you feel that lucid dreaming can be both beneficial and achievable for you, and that anything is possible in a dream. So my only question to you is, what will you do the next time you realize you're asleep? Thank you.
Excellent. I learned a lot just now. Very good.